I've barely ever gone to New York.
town.
It was the first time I ever actually saw the Statue of Liberty.
My
live.
favorite of all monuments.
And driving across the bridge.
Yes.
And then we went to a old, very beautiful Catholic church for the wedding because we're super Catholic. But then the reception was this cool little niche like wine bar, but it had like a beautiful patio with walls, and it was just.
That sounds cool.
It was awesome.
You don't remember where you were at? Hi, Logan.
Logan. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Yeah. So this is Kara Pally, Chief Technology Officer at Free the People.
Yes.
Very rarely in DC. It's a exclusive treat to have her here for last call.
Although that was a joke, Logan and I have known each other for a very long time.
7 years.
That's right.
Yeah.
It seems like a wall.
It does seem like
Is
a
that
wall.
what it is? 7 years?
Yeah. Would you like some bourbon?
I would. I would love some
let's have
bourbon.
some.
You had to pour the
It's a
bourbon.
good one. It's a Terry Kibbe favorite. Mine as well. Angel's Envy. Delish. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm going to have some more here. I'm going to be wasted by the end of this shoot.
After
We're doing multiple ones in one day.
Back to back, baby.
Logan, is it fair to say that after Terry,
Cheers, you guys,
Kara's
though.
the next one in charge, next man up?
Oh, definitely. Yes.
That's right. I'm a boss, guys. Cheers.
Cheers.
Salute.
L'chaim.
I feel like that was New York City culture.
So you're from Boston,
It's very
Kara.
Italian. I am. I'm from Boston originally.
How's that going for you?
Well, it's worked out so far, so pretty
Do you
well.
consider yourself a Bostonian or a New Yorker now?
I mean, at this point, I consider myself a New Yorker. I've been in New York for a long time. I've been in New York off and on, but mostly on since probably 2005. So how long's that? 15 years?
Yeah.
Right. So it's been a while. Grew up in Massachusetts. Yes, that's cool.
I
But
spent 1
haven't-
year in New York and 3 years in Boston. So you helped me beat on both counts.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so yeah. But no, I mean, yeah, New York's great. I live in Brooklyn. I've been there for a while.
Yep.
Got 2 kids. Got married. Got lots of fun Brooklyn stuff happening. Yeah.
I wanted to hear some of your you have a lot of restaurateur friends in New York, and they've been really struggling. I wanted to kind of hear some of those stories. If you
I
don't mind
do,
telling
yeah,
them.
of course. I mean, yeah. So I live in Brooklyn, New York. As everybody knows, it's COVID. All the shit shut down.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, man, people have been struggling. We do have a lot of friends who own bars and restaurants in New York, and it's been a real struggle. So we most recently, now starting this past week, everything's closed again for indoor dining. The 25% that they were allowed previously, which was a real, fun time with 25%, but now that's closed as well. I do know a lot of folks who own bars and restaurants. It's been a real struggle. So 25% is a challenge because so many places in New York are very small. So 25% could be 1 or at max 2 tables. I mean, that's nothing. The outdoor setups for outdoor dining that folks were allowed helped out a lot of people, but the goalposts kept changing. So you were allowed to do X, Y, and Z for your outdoor setup, but then that changed and it had to be a particular width, and folks had to invest more money to meet that goal, and then you had to have sandbags and they had to invest money to make that goal. So, it's kind of like this ever-changing regulatory nightmare for people who are trying to seat outdoors. Indoors, now it's closed. But before that, even, there was the 10 p.m. curfew. That one was fun. So people could come out to eat and drink, but once it became 10 p.m., COVID got a lot more deadly. That's what I, inferred.
What happened
Yeah.
at 10 p.m.?
10
Did
p.m.
the
is the
police
worst.
show up
It
and
was like the-
RAs in your college dorm? It's time to go home.
Well, I mean, no, but places had to close. I mean, that's what really happened.
Do they just
And
kick you out, or is it no, we're not serving anyone else?
So it
how
depends where
strict
you
at 10 p.m.
go.
is this?
So most places, 90% of most 90%, 99%. I mean, all the places followed the rules. I would say there's a couple places, if you're cool, that are like the speakeasy style that would stay open later.
Oh,
and
we're
so
cool, baby. We're
I'm
cool.
not one to name names, but I mean that's where fun time was to be had. Was these folks who were breaking the rules though? I mean, by law, everyone had to close at 10 p.m. And so all your potato chips with your beers, which was required until 10 p.m., you had to take that home. But there, we've been lucky enough to spend some fun times at some places who were breaking the rules, but that's far and few in between. Most people are at home now, and they can spread it at home, I guess.
You had an amusing point about how like they required the outdoor dining for New York restaurants, and then they made you, when it got cold outside, they made you basically fence in the outdoor areas so that there's no distinction between
that's right,
outdoor
but
and indoor.
you can build your elaborate at this point setup of the outdoor dining, which includes, it's literally like these wooden structures that are built with these plastic, see-through corrugated panels as like the walls, and they have heaters inside, and they're fully enclosed. Some of them even have doors, you guys. Like, I'm not even shitting you. And so it's essentially like an outdoor structure that is like outdoor, but is the same thing as indoor. So you've brought the indoor out with your heaters and your fully enclosed structures. And so
sounds like Little House on the Prairie. We just built a cabin, like.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Landon, he shows up sometimes. It's crazy.
Wild time.
Yeah. So I mean, we're just getting by.
Do you know, you said you know a lot of restaurant owners. Do you know them because you and your husband like to go out and be the socialites? Or are you trying, is that an industry you want to get into someday with your husband? Or like, maybe not after COVID, you're like, this is just nightmare.
No, it's mostly just friends. We just happen to know folks. I mean, my husband is born and raised in Brooklyn. We've been there for a long time. We just know a lot of folks that are in that industry. So,
well, Joe's a comedian, and so he probably performs at a lot of these type of places, right?
He is. Joe Pally is a comedian.
I've actually sent some of his stuff to, I have a friend who's an aspiring comedian before COVID was trying to just crash stand-ups. And I knew that a little bit, so I had sent some of your husband's clips to one of my friends. Like, oh, this is a guy I know through someone, kind of.
Well, Joe, I mean, my husband he used to do a monthly show at the Bitter End in New York, which was like this historic venue, right?
Classic.
Bitter End's been around forever. They're awesome. They're cool. The folks that run it are cool. The place is cool. So they would do this like live music and comedy show every month called The Show Tonight. That was pretty cool. I mean, it'll come back.
I've been to one. That was great.
It is great. And I mean, once we're through all this, they'll come back. But the Bitter End, this classic venue that's been there for so long, they were struggling. They had, GoFundMe up. I mean, I hope they still have it up. If anybody wants to go donate to the Bitter End, go help them out, because they should stay afloat. They're a cool spot. But they've been closed. I mean, so many places have been closed. So, yeah.
You mean like close, no one in? Like,
I haven't been over there. I hope that they were doing at least the partial, but they didn't have a kitchen. I don't know if they could do the food part. Yeah, even this whole time, even whatever limited capacity was allowed, it always required food. So I haven't been over there to get in, but yeah.
Have you ever thought of doing comedy yourself, Kara?
No,
you're pretty funny.
I'm on your show right now, but you know me, Logan. I'm like a behind the scenes kind of girl.
Yeah, you don't like to be in front of the camera.
I am.
Take some coaxing to get her in front of the camera, which is a shame because you're good in front of the camera.
Well, thank you, I guess, but. Yeah. So, I mean, what about you guys? I mean, how's DC been with all your COVID, right?
DC, like, it seemed bad to me, but when I hear stories from people from California or New York, it's certainly not as bad as that.
Yeah.
Like, some of my favorite restaurants have closed down. I used to go to the Capitol Lounge for trivia every Wednesday night. And the Capitol Lounge is an institution in DC. It's gone forever now.
Are they closed?
Yeah,
really?
they closed forever.
Wow.
There's no more Capitol Lounge.
Oh, gosh, I missed that.
So that's a real bummer. And, like, all the movie theaters are closed. I can't go see any movies, which I really love movies, so I'm bummed out about that. So, yeah, it's been rough here, but it's not quite as bad. I keep hearing stories about people who getting yelled at and getting accosted by strangers for not following the rules.
I do. I see it all the time. So I mean, I try to follow the rules. Like, I'm not trying to I take my own civil disobedience by attending my speakeasy times or having folks over my house a little bit. But I go out. I try to follow the rules. But if I'm walking down the sidewalk by myself outside or with my children away from other people, like, I'm not always having my mask on. But I've had folks be like, wear your mask. I'm like, dude, you're across the street. Like, settle down and stay over there. You're going to be good.
Yeah, I'm not trying to follow the rules, so I'm different from you there. But yeah, it's and I've heard people getting really hostile about it in other cities, and I really haven't experienced that much in DC. They require it on the mask on the metro now, and I refuse to wear one, and I've only been chastised for it once. I mostly get away with it because the metro employees are fortunately apathetic and lazy and don't do anything, so that's nice.
I haven't taken. I mean, I have taken the train. I have taken the subway in New York, and I do wear it. I'm not like looking for confrontation, and I'm taking my stand in other ways. But even to come down here, I took the Amtrak to come down here. So what a bargain, man! Everybody go book Amtrak. It was $39. It used to be $100 and change to go from New York to DC.
$39 for an Amtrak? That's great.
Yeah, I know. Both
this is
ways.
an advertisement. Advertisement for Amtrak.
Right?
Like, yeah.
Sponsor.
I never thought I'd do it, but man, that Amtrak was sweet.
I love train trips. They're awesome. I like them so much better than flying.
It was like every hour of the day was available too for $39, and so I took it down to Philly and then drove with one of our coworkers, Matt Battaglia, for those of you.
He'll be on the show shortly.
But now I'm taking it back home. It was the same price. It doesn't matter if you're going to New York or Philly or DC. It's the same trains.
Man, maybe I should go. I've been meaning to do a trip to Providence. I should probably get the Northeast Express.
Oh, get it. It's going to be like $39 at once an hour. Every hour. You could just take your time and go.
Taking the train, not to divert, but very nostalgic kind of traveling.
Absolutely.
No security,
Absolutely.
No body scans, get your ticket. They actually treat you nice. They give you some elbow room.
Yeah, you can get up and walk around during the trip if you want. It's great.
And now with the COVID, nobody's gonna try to sit next to you, man. True. You got that whole bench to yourself. I mean, it was a breeze, you guys. Like, I would recommend it, but
nice.
Yeah.
I do want to take I want to take a train trip across the country someday. Gotta wait till the kids are a little older. But the idea of a sleeper car and stuff would be cool. But back to New York. Sorry, thought entered my mind.
No, it's
I love New York, and I lived there for a year, and it's a beautiful city, and I just I love the energy of it, and it saddens me beyond belief to see it dying this way and being killed by
It's very
these
sad.
regulations.
I mean, hey, you
it's
guys.
such an incredible, energetic city, and to see it just deserted and everybody leaving, it's very upsetting to me.
It's crazy, but I'll tell you what. Yes, I could not agree more. I love New York as well. What's happening there now is very sad, as it is in many places because of all the stuff that you guys talk about all the time. But it's interesting to different neighborhoods have different sort of vibes going on in New York, right? So we go out, we like to go out and see. I like to I want to know what's happening. Like, are people going out? Is everybody home? No, they're not. Guess what? Surprise! People still like to go out and drink. And so it depends where you go. If you're gonna go to Midtown in Manhattan, dead, ghost town, like everything's closed. Offices are closed. Not that many people. I mean, people live up there for sure, but it's not, very active. Down on the Lower East Side, there's lots of people out and about. Down in Brooklyn, where I'm at, or north of me, Park Slope, Prospect Heights. I mean, people are out and about there. There's definitely an appetite for it, I guess is my point. So the places that are open, the places that are catering to folks who want to go grab a bite to eat or go have a couple beers, the people are there. Not everybody is scared. Some people are scared. There's less attendance than usual. But there's enough. There's enough that, if they were able to be open and serve those folks, they'd be making it. What's killing them is not even the fear, which is a big problem in lots of places and in New York as well. But it's more the regulations that are forcing them to shut down at certain times or be closed entirely or serve food with their whatever that they can't meet the regulations. That's the problem for these places.
Is the Strand still surviving?
Gosh, I haven't. To be honest with you, I haven't been in Manhattan.
I saw a thing about the Strand, and they were appealing to their customers and saying we're in trouble. You guys need to help us and order from us online and stuff.
Gosh, yeah.
And I'm I can't imagine the Strand going out of business.
Support the bitter end and then support the Strand.
For those who don't know, the Strand is this incredible, huge bookstore,
classic, historic,
right close to Union Square in Manhattan. And I go there every time I'm in Manhattan. It's unbelievable. And I would be so sad to see them close because they're one of the best things. Most of my favorite stores
I would be sad as well. I haven't been over there, Logan. I'll be honest with you. I don't have the occasion to go to Manhattan. And now who knows what's even open. I've mostly stayed in Brooklyn.
What are the subways like? Have you ridden the subway?
I've ridden the subway. I rode the subway to come here to get to the Amtrak in Penn Station. But I've gone on the weekends as well. I mean, it's fewer people. Everybody wears masks. There's when you
what
get
about the rats wearing masks?
No, and they're transmitting it with every step of their paws. When you're on the train, I mean, there's just fewer people. It's really not that different. There's if there's the random folks who don't wear the mask, they get their dirty looks, but there's not really a conflict.
Street vendors out in New York City,
the guy who's selling the churros in the subway, nobody wants them now though. That's a problem. He's screwed this guy with the churros. I mean, and
that sounds really good now.
And what, churros on the train? Yeah, well.
I used to live on those the honey roasted cashews, the nuts for nuts carts in
Nuts
Manhattan.
for nuts,
They're
man.
so good.
Yeah, one time I got a burnt nut though, and it scarred me forever with the nuts for nuts. But
I'm sorry to hear that.
It was
Very
right.
So
upsetting.
the street vendors are still out there, but
I don't know about the nuts for nuts. I did see the churro guy struggling though because I was on the train, but nobody wanted the churros because it's COVID, and he wasn't making many sales. I mean, people are trying. I guess that's the answer to your question: is people are trying. Yes, they're there. Yes, the vendors are there. Yes, they're trying, but business is down for everybody. Because folks don't want to grab the churro. I guess so.
I'd get the churro.
Sounds
It's
like a
worth the risk.
euphemism. don't grab the churro.
You get my drift, though?
Yeah, I
mean,
totally do.
Right. So...
Now, have you, do you know anyone that's moved out of New York personally? Or like, hey, we're going to the suburbs. Go to New Jersey. Let's go.
We're finally going to make the move.
It hasn't gotten so bad that people want to move to New Jersey.
Well, yeah. Well, wait till the tag comes on. No, I mean, I know that's a thing. I've seen it. I don't know anybody personally, like many of my close friends. Nobody has moved out, but I know that it's happening. I'm also, like, in my home life, like a real estate nerd, like... And I watch it all the time, and I see it's right. It's like nerd alert, and I see a lot more real estate on the market. People are leaving.
You've got like comic book nerds, science fiction nerds, and real estate nerds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, but it's something that's definitely happening. I certainly see it in watching my own neighborhood's real estate trends. I see more stuff in the market. I see prices down. I get worried about my own property value. I mean, I'm a homeowner, and I think that in the next, 5 years I would sell. But now I'm like, I don't know, because these prices are down, because folks are leaving, and there's more stuff in the market. It's a saturated real estate
kind of
market.
Going up and cities are going down.
I was kind of excited when I heard that New York real estate was going down, because I was like, I kind of like to move back there one
get
day
it. Oh my God, Logan, let's be neighbors.
I love it there.
I can only dream.
You like the cold, Logan? You're from Georgia.
I did most of my growing up in Georgia, but like I do like the cold. I'm a cold weather guy. I love New England. New England is it's got an old world magic to me.
I love New England
fantastic to me. I loved when I lived in Boston for 3 years to go to music school. But yeah, I don't know where I got that from, because I was born in Texas. I spent a few years in Connecticut. Maybe that's where I got it from. And
your family's in Georgia, no?
Yeah. So then I moved to California, and then I moved to Georgia. So my family's been all over the country. But yeah, they're in Georgia currently, and I grew up in Georgia from the ages of 12 to 18, and then I came back for a little while for grad school. So.
Did you go to school up in New England too, where you're from, or no?
No, I grew up in Massachusetts. I went to school. I moved to New York for college. I went to NYU. I went to school in New York. What
did you study at NYU?
I studied journalism.
Oh, and one of the bad ones.
Yeah, and I 2/3 of the way through journalism school, I realized that probably wasn't going to work out, and decided that I was going to do computer science. I wanted to do programming and build. I know, but like I was going to have to change my major and like pay more for college.
What you're saying is you learned.
I was going to have to pay for another year of college, and I just couldn't do it. And I was like, you know what? I'll just like do it anyways, but like graduate with the journalism. So I pursued the computer science like independently with internships and jobs. Graduated. I have a degree in journalism. You guys, surprise! But all my work experience has been in web development and technology, and so and that's what I do now for the people.
Officer.
That's right. Right. So yeah.
Now, what is it like? You're a mother of two.
I am.
Now, you and Logan have ranted before about education. We won't get into that.
I don't want to get into that argument again.
What's it like navigating the COVID waters and all the changing with, your kids are like elementary school age, but you got school and stuff.
We do. So I do have two kids. I have an 8-year-old.
One of her kids is elementary school age.
That's right. My son is 8. He's in the 3rd grade. And I have a daughter who is just about 3, and she's in preschool. So not, a main school system yet, I guess. So we've been lucky in that my son goes to an independent school that is not the New York City public schools.
Is that recent, or is that where he was before?
He was before. He's always been there. It's just this great, private independent school that's in our neighborhood that we, were introduced to and loved, and we were like, gosh, like how could we send him anywhere else? This school's great. So he's been there since kindergarten. We've been lucky now during COVID. I've never been so thrilled to pay money for my kid's school. I'll tell you that, because his school has persisted. They've been open. They closed last year when COVID started, but now starts September. They were open, and the New York City public schools have been closed. They never really fully opened.
Is there an influx of students to your son's school?
They did get 2 new students this year. Yes, they did actually. Yes, because the New York City schools are so screwed, right? So they did have more children join. His class in particular had 2 new students join. But yeah, so The New York City schools have been closed. They're closed now. They've been closed. When they were open, it was this hybrid model, which basically meant that they spent a couple days at home and a couple days in person. We've been lucky because my son's school has been open full-time in person for him. There's lots of changes. Everything's different. They have to wear masks all day. They're very strict.
Bummer.
Right?
Yeah,
like everybody's bummer now for all the stuff, right? So he is as well with school. So, like all that being said, I feel fortunate that he's been able to go every day and see his friends and socialize with his friends and spend time outside and do, the things he did in school. So it's hard for me to complain about his school because he's had a better time than a lot of kids that live near us that have not had the same experience. And he's had a better time than he would have for me at home. I think homeschool's great, but it's not what we do at home. We both have jobs and are busy, and it's hard for us to give that attention. And so he's had the best possible scenario given the circumstances. But man, it's a bummer, guys. Like they have this totally different experience. Like they're in school and they got to wear the mask, and they can't even when they're outdoors, right, in the whatever, spaced out, running, doing some sports thing, right? They're running laps or whatever. They're doing a sports activity. They have to still wear the masks. I'm like, they're outside. I can't. It's awful. So it's been a challenge. Like even with my daughter is in preschool, and because of their age, they don't have to wear the mask, and they've had a much more normal time. So she hasn't had quite the same experience as he has had because of her age, I guess. I'm not sure how the risk changes.
I feel like your son, though, might turn into a freak athlete because before I had kids, I used to work out a lot. And there was a contraption you could wear to actually restrict your breathing to strengthen your lungs. So imagine all these little kids running around with masks.
No, you know what he's going to turn into?
They might just be absolute studs.
No. What he and all his friends will turn into are video game champions of the world because that's what has replaced.
You can make money about that on YouTube.
Every generation is a video
You can
game.
make that on YouTube, though.
Start
streaming.
I mean, I wish them luck because they and every other child under COVID is trying to be the video game champion of the world because that's what kids do now.
Now, what system does your son have? PlayStation, Xbox?
So he has a Nintendo Switch. And we have an older Xbox, but no, Nintendo Switch is what he's on normally. But on the phone, he's on the iPad. He plays Fortnite, he plays Roblox, he plays all the games.
See, I was a PC gamer growing up. I didn't have a Nintendo or a Sega Genesis. I was just one.
PlayStation, you never played.
I like the PC games. I didn't like these.
I had a few. I played
console
StarCraft. With my nerd friends, I shifted groups.
Or some shit?
Yeah, I played Oregon Trail.
I know, me too.
I played so much Oregon Trail.
Dysentery?
Dude, yeah, you gotta get.
You gotta be the banker.
No, you gotta
Start
get
as the banker and you will succeed.
What's the slab of
Chimney Rock?
No, like the fat slab, like the slab of what's the item you gotta buy? Please, oh my god, help me out here.
No one knows what you're talking about.
No,
is that in the older version before us?
It's one of the items you buy.
Pork?
Iron ore?
No. It's like a food item that's like a,
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
I think I was dead of dysentery.
I just went out and shot 100 buffalo, and then it was like, you shot 6,000 pounds of meat. You can carry 40 pounds of meat.
And that's why the buffalo died off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we brought it back. Capitalism.
Yeah,
Hooray.
so, I played that too. No, now they play different games now. shockingly, right?
Yeah.
But
have you seen the games?
Yes, I play them with him. So, so when he first started playing video games, I was like, all right, he's going to do video games. I shall play video games as well.
I'm sorry,
and
man.
So
16 colors was better.
What do you play? What's your favorite video game?
Well, so I play the game I like most with Harry is Minecraft. We play Minecraft together. We've built some insane stuff. I don't know how much your audience cares about Minecraft, but we literally built a giant pizza structure that shoots fireballs out of its mouth.
You can turn off the episode.
I don't think you understand how it shoots fireballs out of its mouth. But no, Minecraft I do play quite a bit with him. The games he plays without me is the Fortnite and the Roblox. I haven't played those with him. I've played them a little bit to test it out and see it, but he plays those mostly with his friends. Yeah,
just to make sure. But Minecraft, I was mentioned earlier when we were talking. My friends or a former coworker, not super close to them, younger sister makes 6 figures playing Minecraft and streaming it on YouTube.
Oh my god, how do I do that, you guys? I don't think you understand. I'm actually pretty good at Minecraft. Did I mention the pizza that shoots fireballs out of his mouth? Because seems like it should be worth something.
Just YouTubing with the 8-year-old. You can make it catchy with the kid.
Yeah, well, we haven't made our YouTube debut, but we do play quite often. Does
your husband play?
No, my brother-in-law
Wow,
plays. We play.
You were the cool mom.
I know.
Yeah.
No, I play with my son and my brother-in-law, and we have a realm together. His friends join the realm sometimes, but we don't want them to. He even doesn't want them to because they
respect.
they don't want to play in survival. They want to play in creative and not all their bullshit. But yeah.
Wow.
I like
definitely.
judgmental.
I can see why you're the chief
dismissive.
technology officer.
I told you
Realms.
with the. I know.
Well, thank you for joining us, Kara. It's
That's
been a
it. That's how you're gonna
You're
end
cutting
it?
her off right there.
Wow, we haven't even hit 30. Keep going.
All right, we'll keep going
We're
there.
gonna keep her on. I'm having a lot of fun with
What
the
else?
mom
Yeah.
that now
I
plays
didn't know where to go after
Minecraft.
Minecraft.
Logan
I
Payne.
I
that
didn't
was-
mean to derail this,
Logan- no, that was a
Liberty
great-
podcast into Minecraft, but it's hard to avoid it.
I think, we could talk about the shift that's where's COVID going to take us naturally? Like, the government come in and shut us
No, okay,
down.
I
We're
have a
going to
question
plan
for you
around
guys.
them.
Okay, I have a question
let's
for you
hear it.
guys regarding COVID. So, do you guys think that COVID, this year of COVID, will result in a more permanent cultural shift? Let's say everybody gets vaccinated. Hallelujah, let's all move forward. No, do you think that it will be a more permanent thing where folks are like germaphobe or like wearing masks or like SARS style, like scared of each other in a more permanent way, even if they get vaccinated?
I am an optimist by temperament, but this year has dealt severe blows to my optimism about the American people and their resilience. And my worry is that this is a permanent cultural shift, and it's similar to what happened in Asia with SARS.
I can't. I'm horrified.
And people will just wear masks for the rest of their lives because they're terrified.
No, don't
Well,
do it.
I'm really worried that that's going to happen. And like my nature is to think, no, it's going to be fine. We'll go back to normal. But I don't see much signs of that happening based on the people I know. They seem to want to continue to do this.
No, we have to
forever.
lead by example.
I mean,
we
like,
have to lead by example.
We do have to lead by example.
That's right, everyone behiund the camera. Let's
I think
lecture
so.
from the mom.
I mean,
I try to lead by example. I don't wear a mask unless they absolutely force me to. And
well, and I even mean afterwards, like that people should feel safe but still scared. My God.
And like, the vaccine thing, I don't know. Like, we have a flu vaccine and people still get the flu and die from it all the time. So it's not going to be a foolproof, like nobody's going to die from COVID anymore just because we have a vaccine, no matter how good it is. So people have to realize that there's a risk in life and that they're going to accept that risk and go on living their lives normally. But I don't know if they're capable of doing that now. I'm concerned about that.
I think there'll be a shift, but we'll forget why we shift, but the effects will be long term.
Oh, yeah, we've already forgotten why we've shifted.
I think we'll spread out and disperse. I think cities will die a little bit. I think there'll be a shift in like people. I think people will spread out, but I think there might be a short term. Everyone's walking around weirdos like a mask, like over in Asia. I refuse to do that. I live in the country where folks are good, hearty Americans, so we don't do that. We don't do that. We go to church and we don't give a crap. So make fun of us all you want, but I do think there will be like a shift to a more spread out, dispersed populace but we won't remember why. It'll just happen. We'll be
I
like,
hope so, because then it'll make real estate in cities go down, and I'm a city mouse and I like living in cities, so
all for you.
Fine
Maybe
with
hopefully
that.
make my
Come
country
to
home
Brooklyn,
go up.
Logan.
I'd love to come to Brooklyn. If things ever open up and I can actually enjoy my time in Brooklyn, like going to restaurants and stuff,
That would be fun.
I
would
will
love
I will
that as
definitely
well.
come take the train up and we can hang out and have a good time.
That would be
'Cause
wonderful.
I love it up there.
What a delight.
What a delight. That sounded sarcastic.
No, I mean it. You know I mean it. You've
Okay.
visited me before.
Yeah.
So hold on, Other Half Brewery. That's in Brooklyn, right?
Other Half Brewery. Oh, Matt
Is that-
Kibbe's favorite.
Yeah.
Other Half Brewery. I was hired for my job here at Other Half Brewery.
really?
Yeah,
Did not
it's
know
an
that.
important place.
I tried to go once. Last
yeah,
time I was
they've
in
been-
Brooklyn at the
yeah.
wedding, and the line was insane to get the beer. And I was like, I have to go home. My wife and kids are in the car.
Yeah,
We
they're
gotta
very
go.
popular, but I'll tell you what, Other Half Brewery has adapted during COVID. They have been doing delivery service to all the boroughs and now down into Long Island. They've been going out of state. They were posting on their Instagram their like delivery radius, right? And they would have this day of the week you could order for South Brooklyn, this day of the week you could order for
Where are they
Manhattan.
delivering to?
Well,
Like a drop-off spot, and you just show up?
I ordered from them. I got delivery from them. They came to my house. They came up with their Other Half, truck and this awesome girl delivery. Like she was like girl
Hold
delivery.
on, how was she?
You know?
Amazing.
I love when I get a girl
Badass.
delivery.
Viking woman.
Yes, was?
Yeah.
Awesome. Dropped off. I mean, I had ordered a couple of cases of beer, and she came. That was cool. And they've adapted in their delivery service because they've not only been delivering within the boroughs by scheduling it on social media, being like, this day order will deliver, to this, part of the city, whatever. But now they've even expanded out of state. They've been doing, sort of game busters with their delivery.
Can you
so
find them
I appreciate that.
Do you have beer stores in New York City? I'm not sure how you distribute
You can,
alcohol.
yeah. They have distribution. Yeah. They sell beer
I don't
in
know.
New York.
There's weird laws everywhere you go.
No. You can find other half is cool. You can find them locally in New York in the beer stores. You can find them on tap in bars. They definitely have local distribution, and they've been doing cool with their delivery, and they've got great beer. So everybody's check them out. Other Half Brewery.
Was that where you went and Matt? You guys recorded a video of Matt just talking to guys next to you or something at a beer.
That was a long time ago.
Right,
Yeah, right.
yeah.
That's an old video.
I've been
That's
a groupie
while
for a
ago.
while.
Yeah,
We used to do,
remember that one?
We used to do Freedom
What's that
Trek
one
where
called?
we traveled to different places. Yeah,
Yes.
Freedom Trek New York.
Yes, it was.
It was a Freedom Trek New York.
It was
Yeah,
Freedom
go
Trek
on
New York.
YouTube, you guys, Free the People, and find Freedom Trek
That's
New
a
York.
cool one. I like that video a lot. I
Yeah,
like the Freedom
then
Trek
there was like a
series.
vignette that was like a separate clip. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, we don't do those much anymore.
Vignettes?
No, Freedom Treks.
Well,
Yeah, fair enough.
I was excited about that video because I got to do a soundtrack for it where I kind of adapted New York, and made the soundtrack. It was pretty.
that
good.
one was cool. You guys went to Ellis Island and did like
Yeah,
a whole
we
thing
did.
about like discovering your ancestors. It was Matt Battaglia and Matt Kibbe and Logan was there, and I mean I lived there, but I wasn't in the video.
You weren't allowed
And
to be in that video.
I didn't want to be in the video, but like you guys did like an
Did you
Ellis
find
Island
your
thing.
ancestors? Did
And
you have
like,
any
no, Matt Kibbe was
I
looking for
didn't
his
look, but
ancestors.
Matt looked. My ancestors are.
Statue of Liberty, beautiful.
My ancestors came to America before Ellis Island was a thing, so I wouldn't have found anybody there.
What are you like original?
Like 1600s.
Jamestown? All right.
Like it's a little bit murky because like apparently there was some name changing that went on because of criminal activity.
There's always.
But on both my mother and my father's side, we've been in America since the 1600s.
It makes sense with Georgia. That's where we sent the prisoners.
Well, I was born in Texas, so
Oh, okay.
there's a story
have
in
to
my
get
family.
technical.
There's a story in my family,
That was
and I
a
don't know
joke.
whether it's true or not. But the story in my family is that my ancestor was in the Civil War on the Confederate side, and the unit was passing a town where a lot of the men had wives. And they wanted to go visit their wives, and the commanding officer said, no, you can't go visit your wives. And so my illustrious ancestor shot the commanding officer and said, go see your families, and then fled to the foothills of Texas and changed his name.
That's a beautiful story.
So that's the story of my
it's like
my lineage.
the most romantic story I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know whether it's true or not, but like we can't really trace our ancestry further back
I love
than
it,
that.
Logan. I think you should just go with it.
Yeah.
The unit disbanded.
Yeah. You
They never fought in another battle.
Yeah.
Just staying with the wives.
We didn't like being told what to do, you know.
My wife's side of the family also very 1600s, Jamestown, a lot of Confederates, but one of her ancestors was a terrible general, so they tried to hide him, and they sent him to Arkansas, and his job was to try to form an Arkansas unit, but the Arkansasian people, I don't know if Arkansasian is the right word, I wanted nothing to do with the war, and so he had no success getting anyone to fight from Arkansas. They're like,
Oh well.
we're not interested.
At least he tried.
We're
his
just
best.
here by proximity.
Yeah.
So, little Civil War history there.
Excellent. You're our staff Civil War historian because I don't know that much about it.
I enjoy it. I do enjoy it. If you ever want to get me to nerd out, just ask me about the Civil War, and you'll.
Mike, tell me about the Civil War.
No,
Don't
maybe
do
next
it.
time.
Don't
Let's
do
just
it.
wait
Don't
till
do
the
it.
next
All right.
episode because it's. I mean, not gonna lie.
I
It
don't
seems
think
like we should.
Kara
go
had a
over.
panic in her eyes. Very like, Civil War, what? She's from New York too, and Boston.
Yeah, you know the Northeast.
Although Boston,
Yeah,
last time I was there, great city.
it is a great city.
I
was
spent
November and it
3
was
years
50
there
degrees.
in music school.
Very cold.
A wonderful city.
Lots of snow.
Lots of good beer there.
Yeah.
Beer
The Freedom
town.
Trail. I went to that oyster
You
clam
did the
chowder
Freedom
place.
Trail?
And I went to that oyster
Yeah.
place, the famous one.
Yeah.
Got the clam chowder. It's very good.
I don't know, but there's lots of really good clam
It was
chowder.
like Union House oyster or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, well, yeah, I grew up farther north. We just go to like the seaside places. They got legit clam chowder. I don't know where you
They
went.
go to
but
Lobster. They told me it was the
Lobster.
oldest restaurant in America.
Lobster.
yeah.
So, but cheers, Kara.
Cheers. I drank
Great
all my
having you.
Angel's Envy. I gotta get some
So
more.
did I. Well,
All
there's
right.
plenty
Still
more
in
to
the
go
first
around.
class, but
All right, guys.
thanks,
It's-
Chief
Thanks for
Technology
joining
Officer.
us.
It's a pleasure.